you all for turning up. I'm also glad that the speaker turned up. One of these odd times we're going to finish up with the speaker not turning up. Anyway, just one or two notes there that today we're going back to the... sorry, didn't realise it was a crap mic. Can you all hear me at the back? That's a pity. Don't know what you're saying. Oh, just to let you know now that we're restarting the home baking today. I know that's the real reason half you come. But anyway, the other thing there is our next meeting is on the 28th of March, and the speaker is Bruce Jimmison. One of the things he's going to talk about is the early days of the rugby club. I think that'll be fascinating. You should test their memories to know what's happening. Anyway, I'm going to hand over to Jerry Keating now. Jerry?
Thank you, Kurt.
Okay, back? Yeah. I saw this article in the paper about a year and a half ago, and I thought this man has been everywhere in football. He played with so many clubs in Scotland. He won a cup with Partick Thistle, 1974 against Celtic. He won a trophy with St Mirren, didn't you? Yeah. And then he spent a lot of time in places like Zambia, etc. And there is one person here today, Tommy Murray. Tommy played with Jimmy at Arbroath, wasn't it, Tommy?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'd also like to welcome Davy Roy, coming today. Mr. Linlithgow rose for many years. So good to see you, Davy. I'm going to hand over to Jimmy now. Jimmy is quite happy for you to ask questions during his talk. So, here we go.
How are you? Okay? Can you hear me? Now, I've played for a lot of clubs, so if I start going and go through all the clubs one by one, it could take a long time. And you might lose the drift of a question you want to ask. So, as we're going, just put the hand up and just ask a question. It all started off, I'm from a mining village, Flynn, just outside Stirling. And I went to the high school in Stirling. They didn't have a football team. They were a rugby playing school. So I ended up playing rugby, and I was a school captain at rugby. And I was full back, I could just kick the ball further than anybody else. That's all right. I played for 9 clubs on trial before I was signed as a professional. And the manager that signed me was a guy, Willie Thornton, famous Rangers player. He signed me for Partick Thistle. I played on a Monday night against St Johnstone, reserve team, and went home. I was an apprentice electrician in the pit, down the pits. I was an apprentice electrician. Came home from work, Willie Thornton was sitting in the house with my mum. He'd done a deal with my mum for me to sign. My mum, she brought up 6 of us on her own. Her and my dad were separated, so she brought 6 up. So he knew the situation, so he went and he did the deal and gave my mum an envelope, which was actually quite a nice touch, just quite like that. And I played for Thistle for 8 reserve games, and then I went into the first team and played, and I was a member of the first Partick Thistle team that got relegated. At that time there was only 5 clubs in Scotland that never ever got relegated. So I think there's 4 of them that's never been relegated, but Partick Thistle got relegated my first year, and I thought, oh, what's this up in? And then Dave McParlin took over as a manager, changed it completely. He brought in all young players, like Aaron Roth came in, John Hanson, Alec Versailles, and he brought all these players in, and we got promotion. And the following year, we beat Celtic in the League Cup final 4-1 at Hampton, which was 4-0 for Partick Thistle at half-time. And all the people in the television were saying, no, there must be a problem with that score, that can't be right. The country. And 4 great years I had at Partick Thistle, and then what happened then is that players don't have the power, they didn't have the power then as what they do now. And I turned up, I was at work, I was down the pit, and there was a phone call from the guy up on the surface. You've got to come up, there's a phone call for you. So at the time I got up, and there was the phone in this number, and there was a manager, David Parlin, and he says, pack an overnight bag, get yourself through, you get transferred. Where am I going? He says, Norwich City. Where is Norwich? I didn't even know Norwich where it was. So I went and stayed at David Parlin's house overnight, travelled down, signed for Norwich, and played in Norwich City's team. They got promotion for the first time ever in their history, and they managed to score their first ever goal in the big league. So they're a real achievement. And we also, they reached the League Cup final as well. And the Tuesday before the Cup final, the manager said, "Give me here a minute." Took me into his office and says, "Go and jump in your car, you get transferred to Sheffield United." I don't really want to go to Sheffield. I don't know. Listen to what I'm telling you, you're going to Sheffield United. What it was is that he wanted a midfield player, a Welsh man called Trevor Hockey. Long hair, big beard. He was just an animal, like, he just went about, kicked people. But that's what he felt he needed for to stay in the league. And the manager of Sheffield United was a guy called John Harris, and he was a Scots guy. And so I travelled there and played in Sheffield United. They were fighting relegation, we managed to stay in the league. And then John Harris retired. So he retired, and they brought in this guy called Ken Furphy, who'd been manager at Watford. And they brought him in, and he was getting introduced to the players. "Hi, hello, Jerry, how are you? Nice to meet you." He said, "Oh, by the way," he said, "I'm bringing in a player from the Oak Club, so you'll get transferred." That's the first time I'd ever met him. And actually then, I went to Celtic, and I played for Celtic, but the manager was Jock Stein. I was there, a year, played 7 games. Scored 1 goal, it was the last game I ever played for Celtic, so I scored a goal. And then, same again, you get transferred. And he took me to a lay-by in Laver and met with the Arbroath manager, Jock Stein, and me to sign for Arbroath. And it was a case of, well, I'm not really sure because Arbroath are part-time. "No, son, you're going to Arbroath." Rumour has it a big joke at an envelope for it, but I think that could be true. So then I went to Arbroath, I was there 4 years, loved it. The great manager, a man called Albert Henderson, fabulous, great. Tommy, what he was good, just he would come up to Tommy and he would say to Tommy, "Right, just you keep playing your wee passes, everything will be great." He'd come to me and say, "You get the end of the passes to Tommy and everything will be fine." And we had a couple of other guys who were good players and we had a good side. And it's great to see Arbroath doing so well again. And it's not a coincidence that I have a really good manager now as well. And after Arbroath, Sir Alec Ferguson bought me at St Mirren. And I went there and he had the team that just got promoted and he had all the young players. So he signed a guy called Jack Copeland from Dundee United. He was a centre half, and then he signed me to go and just told us, use of the experience of the team. And that was a great experience. I was 28. But I moved all these different clubs. So when I went there, it was great. It was absolutely sensational. So the quality, the players that they had, Fitzpatrick, McGarry, Starr, great. And Sir Alec then got sacked. So none actually sacked Sir Alec Ferguson. And what it was between 1980 and St Mirren, it was Nippon Tuck who was going to get relegated. And we played Dundee United down at Somerset, and at half time, Sir Alec said, "His winning day was, I'll double the bonus." He'd never asked the chairman. That chairman sacked Sir Alec Ferguson because he doubled the bonus in a game which we won, which kept us in the league. Sacked Sir Alec Ferguson. Well, I don't think he felt too clever about it years after that, to be honest. And so, after that, there was Jim Clooney came in, and there was a guy, Ricky McFarlane, who had been the physio, who took over. He was a really good coach, and he took over, and he started to sign some really good players. Frank McDougall came in from Clyde Bank, signed Dougie Saunders from Falkirk, who had played with Scotland under 23, and he was a really good player. And he signed a young kid called Frank McAvenny, and we were a right good side. And we won, the only Scottish club ever to win the Anglo-Scottish Cup. We beat Bristol City in the final, and Bristol City were in the top league then, and it was a fabulous team performance, and that's one of the best successes ever, to go and beat the English club home and away. And I just loved just being at St Mirren. I loved the way it was, and after St Mirren, I went to play, well during my time there, I went on loan to Toronto. I played this season in Scotland, and there was a guy that played with Sheffield United who was a manager over at Toronto, and he came over, he was looking for players, so he did a deal with Partick Thistle. So he paid Partick Thistle, I think it was something like maybe £5,000 for me to go on loan and play in the American season. So I played in Scotland, went to Toronto, came back to Scotland, went to Toronto, came back to play in Scotland. So for 3 years I just kept playing. I didn't have a break. And so now then qualified for Europe every year, but I could never really play in Europe because I wasn't qualified because I was late coming into the country because I had to wait until the American season was finished. And then my career from St Mirren, my contract was up, and St Mirren didn't offer me a new contract. So I ended up going and playing in Hong Kong. I played for a team called the Hong Kong Rangers, Linlithgow. And the guy came with a sweet background, and I met him in a hotel in Glasgow. And he says, we want, it's Chinese guys, we want you to play for our team. Yeah, okay. This little bag's for you. Well, 15 grand in the bag. When you want me to fly out? So when I went there, we went for a 1 month's training into Sri Lanka for pre-season training, and we went to Sri Lanka. We were there. First 2 weeks was morning and afternoon training. It was very, very strict camp. And after that, every second day we played one of the local teams. The standard wasn't very good, but everybody got game time, and it worked. So then we went to Hong Kong. We were top 6, but no better than that. But I also represented Hong Kong in the Chinese New Year. They had a tournament every year, and had a select team. And I played for a Hong Kong select team that won the tournament. And we played a Danish team, Aarhus I think it was. We played there in the final and won the competition. And like the Chinese Zoo was an influence on one of them, which all helps. And then what happened was then, during that time I was doing all my coaching badges at Largs, and I was down and got all my qualifications. So when I came back from Hong Kong, I was going on holiday with the family. We were going to America on holiday, and I got a phone call from a gentleman, wonderful man, Pat Stanton at Hibs, who was going to be the manager at Hibs, and he asked me to go and be his assistant at Hibs. I'm a jambo. That was a decision. So I thought about it, and then he came, and what he said made my mind up. We want you to stop playing. We just want you to do all the coaching to stop playing. So I thought, oh no, not one. And then just as that happened, I went on holiday, and I told Pat Stanton, right, I'll think about it on holiday, I'll give you a shout. And when I came back, there was a message at Glasgow Airport to phone this number. And it was Alec McDonald from Hearts. He said, right, he said to me, I've got you, we want to sign you. Not as a coach, we want to sign you as a player. Hands and knees, that was an easy decision to make. So I ended up going, I was 34, and I went and played. And then walked into the changing room, and Alec McDonald says to me, look after this wee boy, he says, he's no bad. John Robertson. No bad. I've never seen anything like that. You give him the ball in the box, any height, anywhere, you put it in the net. Phenomenal it was. And that really, the twilight of the career, going and playing for the team that I supported, and to play against, play with someone who was just up there, sensational player he was. And then, used to call us Dad's Army, because there were 4 or 5 of us who were in the late 30s, mid-30s, and then they had all these young boys, Robertson, Mackay, Bowman, Kenny Black, they were all there. So it was really a fantastic time, and then I got the chance to go and become player manager at Roth, and I took that, and then I went down the road doing all the coaching, and I was, at that time I was a Roth's best player, but I wasn't playing like that, because I was trying to manage on the pitch rather than play on the pitch. So I stopped playing. And we were doing all right. And then I got a phone call from a very good friend from Stirling, Alex Smith, who wanted me to go as his assistant manager to sit down. And so I went there. We were there a couple of weeks, and then Alex said to me, "You're going to play with the reserves, coach the young players on the pitch." I said, "I just stopped doing that." He said, "You're not the manager now. Just relax, just go out and coach the kids as the game's going and just talk to them." And it was a wonderful time, and we actually won the Scottish Cup in 1987. We beat Dundee United in the final. And before that, just after that, I went to the D&A, and the D&A got to the final the following year, and I was assistant manager for Dundee United, but we lost the cup final to Celtic. It was their 17th year, and Machiavelli, he scored a goal, which was a very good one, your pals, so no one against you. And then I moved to different places. And I went to Zambia. After that, I was the manager of the Rugby, got Rugby promotion. Then I went to Zambia, and I'm telling you now, the best decision I ever made. I have never known a group of gifted football players this team I had at Zambia. The reason I went there, I saw an advert and I applied for a job, and it turned out there was a wee guy called Bill Dow, who was from Dundee, was on the board of directors. It was an engineer there, and all the football professional clubs are owned by the copper mines, and this was the electrical side of the copper mines. And so this guy said, "I know him, I know it, right?" And so I went over, and he says, "These players aren't badge," and he says, "No organised or no fit." I went, "Man, that's fine." And I went, first session, he says, "The man's right. It's easy to get players fit. It's easy to get them organised. You can't get them to play." But they couldn't play. And it went a treat. 6 months we never lost a game. We ended up winning the league, and we ended up winning the African Cup Winners' Cup, which was the first time any team from below the equator had ever won an African tournament. And the Zambians did it. They beat a team, BC Lions, from Nigeria. To tell you a wee story about it, is that the game in Nigeria was over 2 legs. It had to be played, matches had to be played in the capital cities. So then it was Lagos, and Lusaka, obviously in Zambia. So we go, and it's the worst place I've ever been, Lagos. As you're going through your passport, the guy at the first desk, there's a page missing from your passport. 64, there's a page missing from the passport. And the guy nudges me for the back and says, "It's $20 US, Jimmy." I says, "It's getting fuck all." There you go. All the teams are going. I'm the only white guy in the party. I'm standing there and I can't get by. So what happened is that one of the Zambian guys had to phone the Zambian embassy, get somebody for the embassy. He paid the $20 US. I just didn't like the idea of it. And so that was how it started. Then we went and we travelled first day to go and train. But we didn't train actually in the stadium. They had a pitch outside the stadium, and that's where they put us. And it took us about 2 hours in the bus to go 4 or 5 miles. So we did a session. It took us the same time to go back. So I said, "No, So this was like the Tuesday and the match was on the Saturday. So we stayed in a really nice hotel, nice grounds. So I went to the hotel manager, can we train in the hotel grounds? Oh, that'd be great, but I went, no problem at all. So with the bus came the next day, we just sent the driver away and we just prepared at the hotel rather than the guys sit the bus. Because obviously they were deliberate and they knew what like the traffic was, so the times they told us we could train was always at the height of the traffic. So we got round that dirty side of it. Then on the match day, we're in the tunnel, the team's behind me, we're coming down the big long tunnel, and then this guy jumps out with a live chicken and a knife and slit the chicken's throat and the blood's going everywhere. And I turned on the look and we've got 3 or 4 young Zambian kids and their eyes are split saucers, white. They cracked themselves, I thought, oh, they're dead. So I pulled them aside and I said, right, listen guys, I know what this is all about, it's all witch doctor stuff. Forget all of that. See, today you're no Zambia. The day you represent Scotland. So get yourselves behind there and clap as we're going out on the field. So I just got them on the field and go, oh, Father Scotland! And they'll see me going out and giving it all that and singing. And all the kids are coming and the players are going and they're clapping behind. And you could see them and James, what's going on here? So that was one way of calming them down. We won the match. Overall, we lost 3-2 there and beat them 3-1 at our own place. And then what happens is that you get little cards, like mini passports, the players. And what happens is that one of your coaching staff goes through to the other room, the other changing room. They give the photographs, then you look at it's one of them, you see. And my assistant used to do that all the time. And for that game, I said to him, I'm going to win this thing. So we go in and I walk in, and then the guy gave me all the cards of his team. I looked at the cards, I looked at the players and I went, play who you fucking want. They walked out, oh, and they went apeshit. I went, oh, they went bananas. Honestly, they went crazy. I thought, oh, that's all right, that's all settled. So I put the captain on the pigeons and it took them a long time to settle down into the game. And as I say, we ended up winning it. And we ended up winning the league. But what happened was that there was a general election and Kenneth Goodall was the president when I went. And he retired. I don't know if he was still to retire or not, he retired. And it's like a man called Chumba that won. And what he said was that he wanted all the expats replaced by locals. So I was high profile. So the football club says to me, the president says, we'll have to replace you. That's fine. So I was negotiating to go and then get a move to go to South Africa to coach, but I was still in Zambia. And they only had the 4 games to go, but they only needed like a draw and a win. They lost the first game. They lost the second game, and then before the second last game, I got a knock on the door, and it was the senior players, half a dozen of the senior players. You'll have to come to the next game and be in the dugout. I said, no, I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that. I said, but what I will do, I'll stand fairly close to the dugout, and I'll be around. He says, right, well, I think we'll hear your voice. So we actually did it, and then they won that game, so they only needed a draw in the last game, and they won the game comfortably and ended up winning the league. And because of all this, we was travelling a lot to go and play, because it wasn't like going and staying away 2 days to play. Sometimes we were away 7 days, 10 days to play one fixture, because everybody just thinks throughout Africa it's all the same sort of heat. A lot of the places are very, very humid and very, very warm. So you had to go and get a climate tax. Especially like up Nigeria, or a place Burundi, or Burkina Faso, these were all places that we went. And so I had to go and spend a fair bit of time there. So what happened is that we were holding up the Zambian Cup. So we came back from winning, we'd reached the final of the African tournament, and on the Wednesday, they asked us to play the quarter-final of the Zambian Cup. we won the game after extra time. On the Thursday, we had to play the semi-final after the Zambian Cup. Won the game after extra time. And on the Saturday, we had to play the final, which we won on penalty kicks. The players were dead on their feet. But this is what they tried to do. So, sorry, we lost the final on penalty kicks. We lost the final on penalty kicks. And this is what they tried to do, because they didn't want me because I'd been pushed out, because I was British. They wanted the local coach together, which is said country, they can do what they want. So that was the reason. And then I went to South Africa, which every game you went to, there was some different kind of voodoo stuff that was done. You used to go and paint stuff outside your dressing room and with spreads chicken shit in your goal mouth and stuff like that. And I used to say, how did that affect you? Like, because at one half, their teams were in that. But everywhere you went, it was crazy. A lot of the stadiums were in the townships, so sometimes it could be a little bit scary. But the standard of football was half decent. There were lots of good players. Didn't have any discipline or organisation within it. And then I got a phone call to go back and manage St Mirren, which I'd done. They'd just been relegated. David Hay was the manager, and I went back and we did. With the first thing the chairman said to me is, you're going to have to maybe sell 1 or 2 players. So 4 players got sold, and they brought in 1.8 million. And said to me, we've got a good youth team, Jimmy, you'll get to play them. Okay. So that's what we did, and we went and we played. And during my time at St Mirren, I gave 7 16-year-olds their debut for St Mirren. And one of them went on to play for a guy, Rugby. There was one of them, a guy called Brian Harrison. His brother Peter played for the Wraith Rovers team that beat Bayern. And young Brian was a sensational player, great ability. He had diabetes, and he didn't look after himself. And he died when he was in his early 20s. And it's a tragedy, because this boy was unbelievably skillful. I would see him practicing tricks, and I used to say to him, you'll not do that again. You'll not do it. And he would go, and it didn't matter who was playing again, and he'd try the trick. And the supporters loved him. But you couldn't always get him on the pitch, because the illness that he had. It could have come to the illness, it was the other stuff that sorted him out. So then I left St Mirren because they thought we should be getting promoted. So I left there, and then I went and spent a couple of time at a couple of part-time clubs, and then been assistant to a few guys. But during all that time, heel tight, I was one of the Larks Mafia. I was one of the guys that went down to the Larks and did the coaching courses. And everybody goes and they talk to the Larks Mafia, they'll talk as if it's some kind of special club or that. It's a special club. It's a special club because all these guys who are successful, they give up their time to go and give other people the knowledge to help them get a living at the game. And I was very fortunate. Craig Brown, Willie McLean, Walter Smith, Archie Knox, Alex Smith, Johnny Scott, Kenny Cameron, all these guys. And you go out for a beer at night and you're sitting and listening to these guys. You couldn't even learn about the game. It was fascinating time for me, and I loved it. And my roommate was Dick Campbell, so we believe we went with the boys, we went with the dubs, but it just helped out. And then, as I say, we progressed through it, and it was fantastic. And the one thing I learned from all of these guys was, what's the point of having knowledge about anything and keeping it to yourself? What's that all about? Go and help. And to this day, there's ex-players, coaches, they'll phone me and ask this, that, next thing. Oh, delighted, great. Because if you went and you followed a path, surely you've got to go and help other people come along that path. You know? But there's too many in football. I'm not prepared to do that. I'm giving my secrets away. You know, you've got to go and help and prepare for the future. And I loved the coach. And it's only 2 years ago that I stopped doing them. So, I was about 36 years as a staff member. Then we went to the Oriole, and we did it there, which is great. And there's quite a few managers now who are on the go, who I was able to go and help through and get their qualifications. Never mention any name because they're entitled to get all the glory because they went and have done it. But all these guys that I spoke about, they did the same. They went and they helped out. Walter Smith was Walter Smith. I knew that Walter was, Dick Campbell was Walter's roommate when they were at the United. And so Dick would phone Walter regular and ask about this, about that, and he would help. So at that time, the guys within the game were very, very good at going and passing on things. I don't think they're suited to do that now. The managers don't even go and have a beer after the game now. They shake hands inside and then they go their different ways. But back in the day, we used to sit down and have a beer, a glass of wine, and sit and chat for about half an hour about the game. You get to know them. And there were a lot of deals done after games. Well, we're after the game, did you play him today? Well, you don't play him now. I like that thing. So a lot of that stuff went on. And it no longer goes on. They just shake hands and then go their separate ways. So, is there anybody who'd like to ask a question?
What do you think about agents?
Well, what they've done is that the agents have changed the face of football. As I said earlier on, that I turned up for work and was told, right, you're going such and such, on you go. Now, all the players have got an agent, and the players do what the agent tells them. And remember, is that agents don't make any money if the player doesn't move. They don't make any money. It was there was a Russian guy that signed for Man United, the wee winger. I can't remember his name. Yeah. Right. So, Alex Ferguson signed this guy, right? And the agent was there. And so the next morning, Alex was in his office, and there's an envelope there. So he looked in the envelope, 25 grand in cash. And he just went, where'd that come from? And he opened up, and there were a wee note inside it. Thank you. Signed in the agent's name. So he said, oh dear. So he phoned the chairman, get yourself down here now. And the chairman's come in. He says, look, this was lying on my desk. 25 grand, remember? And he read the thing, went, oh, that's all right, that'll go to the club, But it had quite easily been done. Because if the agent's done that, I used to say with the telling people, that goes on. And I'm not going to mention any managers' names, but there are 2 or 3 managers in England who offered, are known to take an envelope. He didn't get an England job because of it, did he, Sam?
Jimmy, in your article there, it says you played 5 times against Georgie Best.
Yeah, I played, I'm more than 5, I played in 5 different countries in George Best.
Yeah.
And also played with him in Hong Kong. So I played in Scotland and England, in Canada and America, and also in Hong Kong. And he came back to Hong Kong and played with our team for a couple of games. And I'll tell you a story. My first game for Toronto was at Fort Lauderdale in Florida. And excited we go there. We got beat 4-0. I'm a striker, I'm up the park. I never seen the ball. They should have paid me the loan money, honestly. I never seen the ball at all. And then the front 3 for Fort Lauderdale was Tobias, Gerd Miller, and George Best. And I thought, this is going to be a long fucking 3 months. Crazy. But George Best, sensational. The time that he played with us, training right up the front. Now, he was trying to kick the booze at that time. And his agent, Bill McMurdo, he was there. Agent Orange, we used to call him. You call him up, he was with them there. And Bill's teetotal, so we'd sit at the end of the bar with a pot of tea. And then, as you're there, the other guys, we were with them and to the side, we were having a drink, and you would see it, and it would form a queue. The women would come up and stand in a queue to just go and talk to George Best. I've never seen anything like it. It's just incredible. And then when George was leaving to go back to the UK, he stayed in a hotel, and the British Airways, all the flight attendants and stuff, they all stayed there as well. Well, they held up the flight for a jumbo jet because one of the stewardesses was doing the flight. And George was booked into that flight as well. So he says, well, there's not going to be a put together. They actually held it. Now, that's power. They held the flight out for 6 hours. That's power. And some of the stories about George, he was a wonderful, wonderful man. What a player he was. What a player. Is that he played for Hibs and he got £2,000 per game, but he had to play. So Tony Higgins tells a story where he used to go and pick him up the hotel in Edinburgh, just at the train station, Waverley. So he would go and pick him up. So when he got him one day, I'm not seeing George this morning, he's not about. So the batter's on the door, nah. So he goes, checks on the boot. So he goes into the park and they said to him, "Where's George?" "I was in the hotel." "You get yourself back up there and get him. We need him for this game today." So he's went in and he said, "Where's George?" And he's gone round and everywhere. So he goes up, he's banging on the door, trying to knock it down. And George, he comes with the boxer shorts on the door. "Aye, what is it, Tony?" He says, "Come on, you're going to be late for the game." He says, "I'm not going today." He says, "But I'll get your £2,000. Never mind your £2,000, look, I'll go in here." I'm going to mention anything. So, that was the type of guy he was. But he was a fascinating player, and he was so brave, and he was real good fun. And you could sit down and he liked to talk about the game, and he was prepared to go and help as well. But he's fabulous. He's one of the greatest ever. One of the greatest ever. Which is a thing when I went to America, is that I ended up playing against some of the biggest names in the world. Carlos Alberto, the Brazilian man who played for New York Cosmos. Johan Cruyff, he played for Los Angeles. So you had the opportunity to go and play, and it was great. It was great. Every team had one or two. We had Brits, we had Peter Lorimer from the Scotland, Peter was in our team, and we had a wee Brazilian guy, his name was Ivair. He never played for Brazil. How no, I don't. He was an absolute sensational football player. Look at the wee Tommy there, one of the guys that would go and get the ball, play these passes with hurt teams. So, that was a great spell. I loved the spell there. I liked the way they did it as well. What they did is that you would go away, every away game would be a 3-day trip. And what they did, you didn't meet as a group and have a meal. They would give you $20 per meal. So your breakfast, your lunch, and so they give you so the local kids, because there had to be, I think it was 6 locals, North Americans, in your team, and there had to be half the sort of bench had to be. So all these guys had to go. So they would all go and get McDonald's and stay